There is Milt Lady,
Good
White
morning,
Township
Todd.
Manager. Good morning, Milt. How are you?
I'm doing good. Happy Valentine's Day. I'd like to wish my wife a happy birthday on Happy Valentine's Day.
Wow, she has a birthday on Valentine's Day.
She does.
Boy, you are under pressure today. Valentine's Day at your place must be really, really special, huh?
Oh, it can be.
Milt, it better be.
It better be, you're right.
And to celebrate, you're going to a Township Planning Commission meeting tonight.
Yeah, exciting.
Well, it is Planning Commission night tonight, and the Ben Franklin Elementary School is a part of that discussion. They will be putting that on their agenda, and so folks will have a lot of interest in the Planning Commission tonight and what they have to say. There have been some ramifications with White Township Planning Commission before with this project, and going to try to iron out some of those.
We've had a couple special meetings to take public comment. We incorporated those comments into a letter that was issued to the school board saying that, it did not meet the multi-municipal comp plan that we have in relationship to the Indiana Borough. And those comments were also sent to the Department of Education at Pennsylvania. But as far as the Planning Commission itself goes, they have done an excellent job at meeting all our requirements for our SAWDO, our land development ordinances and all that. So the only thing really left that they need to provide is the traffic impact study for that area. We're still waiting on that report. So it's anticipated that we probably will have a preliminary plan approval tonight at the meeting, contingent on receiving the traffic impact study for final plan approval.
Now, that traffic impact study is done by PennDOT or by some other agency?
It's done by their engineering consulting firm that they've hired they do traffic counts at a lot of the traffic signals and relate that to any possible mitigation that might occur. And then we have a traffic engineer within the township that's our consultant that will review that study to make sure it meets our perspective and our requirements also.
And then going back to not the traffic study, but the previous item that you mentioned about the working with Indiana Borough, when you send a document like that to the school board, then they must respond and make adjustments, or how does that process work?
They do not have to. It's not any. It's a plan. It's we certainly like them to adhere to that, and it's a long range tool to try to make the community planning process better. But they are really under no obligation. It's not binding on their part to meet any of those requirements. It's just our opinion as to how we'd like to see the community develop. And we adopted the comp plan provided by the borough, and they did likewise for the White Township comp plan.
Okay, so meeting tonight, 7:30.
Right, regular time at the White Township office.
All right, there you go. Now, let's talk about a few other things that are exciting for White Township, including the dog park. It's getting closer and closer, isn't it? I'm watching the Westminster Dog Show.
Oh, yeah, that's a fascinating show.
I'm thinking they ought to have that here. They ought to have it at Getty Heights Park.
Well, once we get the dog park, maybe, huh?
There you go. You go.
Yeah, we've been getting some calls. I just wanted to update the public on where that stands because people have been asking. We did send final drawings and a budget information to the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources because they did provide us a matching 50-50 grant. They'll match our $30,000 with their $30,000, so it's a $60,000 project. They did approve the final drawings, and so we hope to start the bidding process for some of that work. And some of the work is in-house, and we'll be hopefully starting that this summer. The design of the park is two fenced-in areas. It's going to lay behind the parking lot up towards Diamond Drug. And the two fenced-in areas, one will be for small dogs. The other one will be for the larger dogs. It's going to have a lot of natural features like a little dirt mound with rock outcroppings on it, some tunnels and benches. A paved area will be handicap accessible to the area. Hopefully, we'll be able to put in a shelter if the funds are still there, if we don't spend too much on the fencing and in the pavement. And there'll be water fountains for the animals. And so it's exciting. We've had a lot of interest stirred up, and certainly the grant helps. And we'll be coming back to the public for, maybe like a soft opening and trying to get maybe a membership and some friends of the park type thing that'll help sustain the maintenance of the facility and all that.
Yeah. Now, would this be a 365-day-a-year dog park, or?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly we may have to shut it down off and on just to do maintenance on it and let the grass recover. But yes, I don't see why it would not be open in the winter for the dogs also.
Dogs got to play.
They love the snow, some of them.
Yeah. And the humans got to sit there and watch it.
They do.
Yeah. All right. So that's exciting news. A lot of folks have interest in that. When you went through the design phase of it, did you look at other dog parks designs in other areas and other municipalities, and you can sort of cherry pick them, say, I like that feature, I like this feature, let's bring them all together?
Yes, there's a dog park. I forget the name the name escapes me, but it's down near the in Westmoreland, Greensburg area. There's one as you drive in there right before 30, going down, I forget the road, but there's a nice dog park there. We had to get an engineer design it for us, so they had some experience and looked into other dog parks, and we got information and pictures and did some searches for other good design concepts, and there was a lot of effort put into the design. And also we did have an anonymous donator provide $20,000 of the $30,000 match. So certainly they had input into what they'd like to see in the park also.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on to other topics. We're looking forward to the dog park at Getty Heights Park. How about that?
So are we.
Yeah. So White Township has some properties?
Yes. We had obtained a couple properties over the years. One from a sheriff's sale due to sewer fees and liens on the property, and that one is on at 87 and 91 McLean Road. It's 2 half-acre parcels that will sell as one property, which is a little over an acre. It has an abandoned manufactured home on it, which would most likely be torn down by the new owner. But that's up for sale, and also what's referred to as the old Wilson building out on, the address is 1090 Route 110 Highway, and that's out at the intersection of 110 and Wida Road. We purchased that when we relocated Wida Road. It kind of came into the old 119 at a bad angle, so we rerouted that road back in the mid-90s, and we purchased this property. We've used it for storage and all that, but it's a time that we see to sell that property. So they'll be advertised next week, how to pick up information on it, when there'll be an inspection time on the building. And they'll be sold by sealed bid. We're hoping those sealed bids will be due at our supervisor meeting on March 8th. So we welcome all interested parties.
It was used auto repair place? Is that what that was?
I don't know. I think at one time it was a garage, and it's got like 6 to 8 bays in it, so it would make a nice storage building or a small garage. Sure. Yeah, paved area.
Good use for that. Okay, so both of those properties going to be for sale, and you'll let us know when?
Yep.
All right, so we're in the middle of the winter season, and normally we're looking at it's from the middle of December until the middle of February. Everything's all frozen up. That's not the case this year.
It's not.
And that wreaks havoc on the road, all this freeze thaw, doesn't it?
Yes. It rears up those ugly potholes that everybody tries to avoid. So certainly if there's areas that are in distress, we need to know about them. I mean, our guys are out and about all the time, so we pretty much pick up on them. But, a couple years ago, we were having trouble getting salt, and now we haven't purchased enough because we're under a contract that we have to buy a minimum amount, and we just haven't used a whole lot of salt this year, and so we're hoping maybe for some more bad weather so we
No,
can buy
you're
some more
not.
sod.
You're not looking. Keep it and store it over in the Wilson building there, will you?
Well, we're running out of storage.
Oh, my
We'll
goodness
figure it
gracious.
out. I'm sure we're not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. You take what you get anyway. Have you noticed or have you had reports of particular road problems? Because sometimes you get subsidence when it turns all wet and you get into freeze thaw, and sometimes roads heave up or sink down.
No, we really haven't. It's been good so far. I mean, the potholes haven't been terrible yet, but I'm sure with the rains and all that we've had recently and this up and down, they'll start showing up. But the guys do a great job out there cleaning the roads off, and they get a lot of compliments, and we like to hear that.
Milt Lady is with us. He's the White Township Manager. We're talking about all things White Township here. Planning Commission meets tonight at 7:30 with the Ben Franklin Elementary School plans on their agenda. Milt, we're getting into the spring of the year soon, and then we'll be looking forward to summer and the various construction projects and the various things that happen in White Township seasonally. So you must begin planning then for what's going to come later in the year. That planning process underway already?
It is. I've mentioned, I think, in some of our past talks about we have a couple sewer projects. One is out in Fulton Run that we're waiting, hopefully, to get a grant to take care of that small area out there with a little sewage treatment facility. Also, the Airport Road 286 East area, out by the Airport Professional Center. That sewer extension project is in the engineering design phase right now. It's out to all the utilities for their comments on our routing of our sewer lines. We'll be starting to negotiate right-of-ways and all of that and looking at ways to fund that project. So that's the people out in that area have long been hopeful that they would be getting sewer out that way, so hopefully we can accommodate that.
And then we always look forward to what's going to be happening at the recreation complex, which is such a wonderful thing. You got a hockey tournament this weekend.
We do. The Charlie Hogan tournament brings in teams from all over Western PA, Ohio, New York, and it's great for the community. They stay in the motels, they eat at the restaurants, really spend a lot of money here, and that was actually going on last week, and also with all the little kids. The 8 and under teams were there last weekend, and now it's the older kids. And got the home show coming up in March, so things are really picking up with the events out there.
S&T Bank Arena is holding up pretty well.
It is. It's shown a little wear and tear. We've got to do some housekeeping out there, but that all comes as part of the operation.
It's part of the whole thing. Well, we appreciate you coming in to visit with us today, updating us on a whole bunch of things that are happening with White Township.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
That's Milt Lady, and it is Indiana in the Morning. We are presented, as always, by First Commonwealth Bank here on AM 1160 WCCS and 101.1 FM. Fox News up next at the top of the hour. We sent Josh out to the United Way breakfast this morning, so Chuck Clark is going to be visiting with us from the newsroom.